G'day, Matty.
God bless you.
God bless you, Matthew.
Good on you, Matthew. How are you?
How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm
going good. Going good.
What have you been up to today?
Mate, I had to duck into Fox before, Fletch. I had to duck in there.
Did we get in trouble? Did we get
had
in
to do
trouble?
a crossover. Shaun Johnson's got a new show over there in New Zealand.
Yes.
They had to just do a cross for the grand final.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And he's on the show Sunday.
Yeah, he's on the show. I told him what we get up to, our usual shenanigans. 2 bottles of vodka before we start. Get on there and just make ourselves maggot and then drag ourselves through the show.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I can't wait. Now, Matthew, what did you make of Stefano's comments? Very unlike him, I feel.
Mate, Fletcher, it's a little bit like, when you get the bloke who's just never says a word and just sits in the corner. Then you give him 6 schooners and he's just into everybody.
It was bizarre.
Mate, I reckon, honestly, they've gone, righto, we've got to put someone up. Who's someone that'll say nothing? And they've got him in there, stuck a microphone in front of him.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to work out who he's got. But I'll tell you something about Madge. Madge will convince Payne Haas that he's talking about him, for sure.
It's just so bizarre. And, even when he said it, as he was saying it, I didn't believe it.
No.
He said it so nicely.
Well, you know what, Matty?
I'm going to run at someone. But it had no conviction.
I said to Fletch, Matty, if you hadn't been aware of that story and I just played you the audio, you wouldn't even know who said it.
No.
I've never heard him speak.
No, neither have I. He's such a lovely guy.
Yeah.
And, when they came out and said, mate, his first big shot across the bows from Stefano, I went, who? Mate, seriously. Yeah. But they would have gone, mate, well, we've got to throw someone up. We won't throw Munster because, he sort of shoots from the hip and, we won't send him up. And Jake Howard, no, he's too young. I'll tell you what we'll do, Bellyache. Let's throw Stefano up. He won't say anything.
Yeah, and so the media manager's turned his back and said, Bellyache, do you want to just go and get a pie and a milk?
Yeah, we're safe here.
And they're just going to the local cafe. They finished the pie, and it's just all over the social
Mate,
media.
you can imagine. Madge, I'm certain Madge will go show him. Just go, boys, that bloke, mate, they've put him up and they've told him to say that. Mate, they're showing us no respect whatsoever. Payne, Pat, mate, it's all about you two blokes. Oh, man, it's great stuff.
Yeah,
it's good.
It is good.
I love it.
It's going to be a beauty. Have you got an early lean, Matty, or not?
Yeah, Melbourne. Go on, Melbourne. Boys, look, I know Madge has done the right thing by saying, this 2 days extra is all rubbish, but it's a significant factor. Given the fact, not just the 2 days, boys, but the nature of the games they played in. Like the Friday night game with Melbourne against Sharks, it was really stop-start. It was played at a moderate tempo on a cool night in Melbourne, where Sunday was just breakneck speed, hot conditions, went the whole 9 yards. And after watching Canberra, after what they endured, which was similar. I know it went 100 minutes, almost 100 minutes, but sort of similar conditions in a lot of ways and similar speed. You saw what the toll it took on them, and I just can't help but think that the Melbourne Storm, that combination, that spine of Pappenhausen, Jerome, Munster, and Harry, they're just, mate, they're masters of in combination just blowing an opposition team's middle apart. And that's where I think they'll get them. I think the fatigue combined with that, I think they'll get them. And I think Paps, mate, I'm very bullish on him for Clive Churchill.
Do you feel,
bullish.
Do you feel, Matty, the Penrith players and coaching staff will be disappointed or more angry that they lost that game? Because as we were watching it, we were thinking 14-0. We thought it probably should have been 20-0. We were wondering how Brisbane would get back into this game. We were actually saying, do you reckon it'll get to 30?
Yep.
That's what
Fletch. We were going, mate. Look, we were all sitting there and Penrith were attacking their line early in the second half, and we were saying, well, they're about to cross, and if they cross here, it's just going to break the will of the Broncos, and they could get up to 40 or something like that. And there's every chance that could have happened, that all of a sudden they score and go 20-0 up, and the Broncos just start to fragment and go, our season's done. But they just hung in there. I think that their online defence defined the contest.
Yep.
And it was amazing the way they got themselves back in the game. A couple of the blokes. I mean, look, I'm not writing off the Broncos in any way, shape, or form, because I thought Xavier Willison in his first game back for a while, thought he was really good. He'll be better again. Same with Renault. He was rusty for most of the game, but nailed the moment that mattered. And Ezra. I think all three of those blokes will be better having a run on this second outing. And so look, and you got Reece Walsh there too. I mean, look, Reece is. Mate, he's just got dynamite in his pockets at the moment. It's quite amazing. Melbourne, there's one thing about Melbourne. Their left side defence is a concern for them. Cronulla scored 2 tries on them. The first one, in uniform, they went outside in and they caught him out. And the second one, they really backed off. It just seems at the moment that Jack Howarth is just a little bit uncertain defending in the centres, and is up against Katoni. So I think Madge will go there a lot.
I reckon the win, I mean, other than Reece Walsh at the end there, when he showed his class by beating 2 or 3 and then popping the ball over to our man Carapani. Was it Carapani? Yeah.
No, Mariner.
Mariner. Other than that, they won that just on grit and effort. It was very much like an Origin, like a Queensland win.
Yeah.
Like when you're watching, they just they defended their line, and they just finally, it looked like they were out in their legs, kicked long, waited for an error, and it was more so than their skill. And we know they got, they're a pretty flashy team. I reckon they just won it more on effort.
Yeah, I agree, Fletch, because the tries they scored were tinny. It was like, hitting the little kick through, hit a set of legs, and it was like a bounce. Couple of those bounce tries, but it was a reward for those guys just sticking to the task. It's going to be a great grand final. Talking about Penrith before, like, it was funny. A coach knows the side, of course, far better than us just sitting watching the game. And whilst I sort of thought, Penrith has still got this game under control when it was about 14-6 or something like that, mate, they kept cutting up to the box with Ivan, and you could see Ivan getting more and more anxious. I sort of sensed that he thought his side was just out of gas. So...
Well, we spoke, boys, about, I'll tell you an unsung hero, Ben Hunt. I'll explain why in a minute, but we spoke in this chat last week about, did Penrith show us how you can get themselves? So they defend the same as Canterbury. We spoke about this, where they put the fullback on the short side. The first try that got him back in the game, Ben Hunt goes to dummy half, and he knows Edwards is on the short side, and he dummies to that side to keep Edwards there. Then they turn back and they kick for Stags.
Was it tackle 4?
That was their first try.
It wasn't last tackle, though, was it?
No, and then their second try, Ben Hunt dummies open, and then goes short side, and that creates a massive void behind the line. Mate, Ben Hunt had a major hand in the outcome of that game. Yeah. Major hand.
Yeah, he's a pretty unassuming bloke, isn't he, Ben Hunt? And a lot of them are hiding. A lot of them are hiding in the long grass because of the fact that everyone's talking about Reece Walsh. He's the one at the moment who's making all the headlines, and the role of Benny Hunt, he's been overshadowed to a degree, but they've got a lot of experience there. But I look at Melbourne, just the experience in really big games, and they got some of the best big game players in the competition. I mean, Munster's one of the best big game players I've ever seen, and of course the other night, he was the best player on the field.
Hey, Matty, I was saying to Fletch, will they run out of good time tokens? So we're talking about the probability, right? So that situation they found themselves against Canberra, long odds, they're $81 in the run to win that game. And then you find yourself down 14-0 against Penrith. If you were presented those scenarios, it's like 800, 1,000 to 1 that you could get out of jail twice like that. Like, how many more good time tokens have they got?
Yeah, I know. I'll tell you what, Joel, and it's a reward for the players, and it's vindication for Madge on how hard he trained him at the start of the year. Mate, the secret of success probably sits at the bottom of those buckets back in January, because he just worked him really hard, put steel into him. There's lots of stuff coming out saying, the players are disgruntled. And every time they lost a couple in a row, they'd say, well, the players are off Madge and, all this sort of stuff. Well, it's just been proven incorrect.
You boys are both won comp. So Chris Fagan, they spoke to him about preparing for a grand final. And he says the deeper you get into a season, the less and less and less there is on a whiteboard. Do you blokes subscribe to that?
Yeah, but it depends on the coach. Some coach try and stuff, the textbooks down your throat throughout the whole year. But the good coaches know when to take the foot off the pedal. And I think once you get into the semi-finals, it is all about recovery and just getting prepared. A lot of tape on the opposition.
Yeah. You know what I reckon, Fletch? To get to the grand final, you have to know your system inside out. And I think if you're good enough to get there, then you don't have to spend the rest of the week reinforcing it. I sometimes, when I was coach, I used to get frustrated sometimes by the coaches just putting so much onus on the opposition. They'd be saying, mate, we've got to go at this bloke. Look at this. We've got to go at this bloke. And you just go, no, let's just worry about our football. When we play our football, our best, when we present as our best selves and play that way, we'll find all their weaknesses. We'll find the bloke who's got a crook shoulder or struggling, his inside shoulder. All those things. So to a degree, he's right. You can do, less whiteboard stuff or all that stuff as long as you know your system inside out. And if you're good enough to get to grand final day, then you obviously do.
All those big games, I remember when you're playing a big game or an Origin and your head's falling off because it's so fast.
Yeah.
I always found it was the calming influence of a senior player.
Yep.
And I found the best at it was Rico. For whatever reason, I know he's played 300 games. You would think it would be Freddie, but Freddie could sometimes be a little bit like erratic and a bit scattered, where Rico didn't really say too much. But if you got a calming head around you, because it's so fast, and you're either just in that sort of merry-go-round where you're tackling, then you've got a kick chase. You sometimes get lost in the game. Your head's frazzled.
Well, Fletch, I've never played in the big games like you blokes. The only way I can compare it is we played in one of those double headers at Accor. Massive crowd, new shiny stadium. And it was half an hour into the game. And I remember thinking, you're not even in this game. Like, it was just going.
Goes quick.
Goes so quick.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
And that's
like,
when
it's like Origin, isn't it? Origin's like that. I remember Gus saying before we played first Origin, he said, mate, as soon as you get out on the field, you need to hear yourself talking. You've got to be talking straight away. You've got to get your hands on the ball early. You've got to make a strong tackle early. He said, because I'm telling you now, if you don't do that, he said, before you know it's going to be half time. He said, just trust me. And I took it on board, but then got out there and got lost in it a little bit. Like, we didn't have possession for a little while, and you sort of find yourself just, a step behind the game. And then it happened. I remember just going, oh, man, just feeling like I was just about to hit the wall, and then hearing the siren and going, that can't be half time. And it was.
Wow.
Now, Matty and I went to the Hudson Hotel on Friday, and Matty doesn't really usually bid on auction items.
Oh, wow.
They were going through, there was jumpers and dinners, and all of a sudden, up came the item Snoop Dogg.
Really?
And Matty just, he was like a meerkat.
What was the item?
Snoop Dogg. There was 2 tickets available for Snoop Dogg, and Matty just went, I want to go. I didn't know you were a snooper.
Mate, I'm not really Fletch, but I just got there and I was just thinking about coming back home and presenting to my 2 sons, just going, hey, boys, you want to go to Snoop Dogg? Well, look what Dad just got. And the other thing about it is the fact that it wasn't just Snoop Dogg. It was like a Snoop Dogg the Snoop Dogg experience.
Yeah.
Which is, mate, out the back after the show, punching a few cones. Yeah. And I just thought, I'm all for that.
But he didn't come on till 2 a.m.
I know.
So I don't know how your head would have fallen off by 2, surely.
Oh, mate. Well, mate, I mentioned our man Richie, who organised it. People are asking for a refund. I was like, yeah, good luck getting your money.
Well, I don't know if he's still in town. Is Snoop still in town? Because there's rumours, Matthew, that Teddy swims.
Sunk.
He could be drowning. So, who do we put in if he's not there?
Righto.
Have you got one?
Reckon I heard. Hey, Jack, come here. This is like, he thinks I'm going to give him a rap here.
Yeah, Jack Stage.
this is the dumbest thing you'll ever hear. Hey, just tell the boys, because they're talking Teddy Swims are going to be available. Tell the boys who you put up as the grand final pre-game entertainment.
I knew this was going to come back to haunt me.
Hello, Jacko.
What do you got, Jack Stage?
How are you, boys? Nah, well, I had this genius idea last night. I said, well, if he pulls out, oh, sorry, the phone's going off. I said, you know what they should do? They should get Ian Moss and Dal Finucane to do it. And I looked up at the old man, and he just looked at me in complete disgust.
Mossy, yeah. I'm in.
He was
and
great.
Dale.
I know. I saw him on your show the other week. He was fantastic.
He was good.
I
I'm thinking that we just got to go back to it's either Justice Crew, Timmermatic, or
Yeah, Timmermatic.
or
Yeah, he's
1-4.
the one. Nah, Timmermatic's the one, I think, Flip. I think you've nailed it there.
Yeah. Or what about I saw her down there. She's an Australian favourite, Jessica Mowboy.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I hear that, boys.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Thanks, Jack
Is that,
Stage.
is that the dumbest idea you've ever heard? Or what?
It's pretty bad. We would be a laughing stock.
Now, Tourist is pressuring us into this, Matty. He says, we've got to get to the Dally M's. Fox League, of course, have you covered. Dally M Wednesday night on Fox League. Who's your tip?
Oh, it's got to be Teddy.
Has to be Teddy.
I think the only one who could get close is probably Payne Haas. On the surface, if you just said to me who has been the best player this year, I'd probably go Haas.
Yeah,
Just
right.
what he puts himself through every single week, like playing 80 minutes and just he's had a bad back, all those things. He's just a remarkable player.
So
But
just on Haas, Matty, last week, 80 minutes, 47 tackles, 180 metres. Like, he's not a robot.
No.
Are we concerned about him backing that up, or is it grand finally he just gets back on the horse?
I think they're going to have to give him a rest at some point, because if Madge keeps him out there and he's fatiguing, you just know, mate, that Melbourne are going to turn their sights on him, that spine combination, and just keep going at him. What'll help him this week is the fact that, remarkable performance last week, considering no Pat Carrigan, who I think if you're going to have if Brisbane win the game, I think he's a good bet, a sneaky bet for the Clive Churchill, given the fact he's going into the game fresh. He's had 2 weeks off. He's got the fresh legs in that side, and I like Paps because Paps has had a disrupted season, but he showed a bit last week. I reckon he showed last week that he's about to hit top form. And if the middle start to fatigue from the Broncos, I'll tell you what, mate, he will just blitz it through that middle.
The bus driver who was driving bus number 355 heading to Marrickville, all stations to Marrickville, he wants Courtney Act. He thinks Courtney Act might be a very, very. And what does she sing? Courtney Act. I know she.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she's a lip syncer.
Oh God.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. Although Snoop apparently was doing a bit of that.
Was he?
Yeah, it's going good. The bus driver 355. I'm happy with Courtney Act. If you are.
Beautiful.
Now, Matty, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see this? That 6 monks over in Thailand have tested positive to meth.
Oh,
did you hear about this? Yeah. So they raided the coppers came and raided them. They had drug paraphernalia.
Wow.
They had meth tablets. They've been kicked out.
Oh.
They've been kicked out of the monkhood.
Derobed.
See you later. Yeah, they took the robes off them.
Yeah.
Did they?
So how? Because they don't talk for 6 months. How'd he being on meth? Not that I've ever had meth, but it'd be very hard to get on meth and not speak. I'd imagine.
Oh yeah. Because oftentimes think about monks just there. You take the vow of silence. You get up to no shenanigans at all. So they've got to be off their nut.
Well, that's what
They've
they
got to be
are.
having a crack at the Lady Macbeth or or the
Well, they
Pingers
are.
or something like that. They've got to be having a crack.
Maybe they're making it and offloading it.
We'll chat Thursday, Matty.
Well,
chat.
I tell you what, your tip, wisecrack.
Oh yes.
Joel, I
Yeah.
tell you what, how good is it?
It's a cracker.
It's heavy.
You know what, Matty?
Oh.
We've got the narrator coming on in a couple of weeks. So, mate, we'll chat on Thursday.
And just to let audience know, it's not Sophie Monk. It's not Sophie Monk.
Okay.
It's other monks.
See you, Matty.
It's all the monks.
See you, boys.
See you.
Fletch. We're talking about, is there something between Madge and Utoikamanu? So, Utoikamanu debuts for Origin 2023
Under the Fred.
under the Fred. Now, this article through Fox League presents itself, and the date was the 3rd of February 2024, so the start of the 2024 season. And it says this: the Blues' new era has officially kicked off with 36 players. So that's a big squad. 36 players set to gather at New South Wales Rugby League headquarters this weekend for a two-day training camp. Now, this is February 3rd, 2024. New coach Michael Maguire has wasted no time in making big selection calls either, with News Corp revealing that the West Tigers prop, Stefano Utoikamanu, has been left out of the 36-player squad.
Okay.
He's an existing member.
Yes.
Did not play under Magic State of Origin, and then played all 3 games with Bellamy being involved last season.
So Stefano's Utoikamanu's quote of "There's a lot of people I don't like on this team." Do we feel would that also be included in the coaching staff?
I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't like Baz either.
Well,
he hates Baz because Baz looks beautiful.
Looks beautiful. And they had, well, let's do this, tourist.
The man alive.
He does.
And the fact they worked together at the West Tigers, Brian.
That's what I mean.
Oh.
So did he? Yeah, maybe something went down. Anyway, this is Stefano yesterday at the media day down there in Mexico.
That's another strength of my game is, running off the kick, and I want to make sure this week I set up for, to get that first kick of the game, and there's going to be a lot of people I want to run at. There's a lot of people I don't like in this team, and I'm keen to go out there and run someone over.
You don't name names there?
No, I don't want to name names, but there's a lot of people I think they're a bit stuck up, but I'm pretty keen just to run out and do a job for our team.
Oh,
a lot of people, he says.
It's Madge.
A lot of people.
Well, who else is it?
Well, it's a lot.
But how they stuck up? Who's he come up against, or who's he been around? No.
Everyone's saying Payne Haas.
I don't think so. Payne Haas doesn't.
On Payne Haas, Brian, if I've got a concern, he's played like almost 2 full games in his last 2 appearances. Does that concern you?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Off 80 minutes?
Not for this one game. He'll be up for it.
No?
Not when he was doing what he did in the last 2 minutes. I know he made 1 million tackles. No.
He made like 47 tackles.
How many
metres.
How many tackles did he make? Pretty sure.
47.
47. 47.
That would be great, wouldn't it? Imagine Madge just goes, I know he's talking about me.
Yeah.
Carrigan, you're on the bench. I'm starting.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
It's just I've never heard boo out of Stefano. It is so unusual that he's come out on the biggest game of his life.
Yep.
First day.
Because I know Tyron Wishart was after him. And we got Tyron's audio, and then he was saying, we've got so much respect for every member of this team. So I feel Madge might have bumped him. Billy Ape might have bumped him and said, listen, just smooth this over.
Can I ask you this? So, I've told the story a million times. Relax, Fitzy. I'm not telling the yarn about Kathy Freeman, how Madge made her a surprise guest in their captain's run in 2014.
What about Coral? Give me a Coral. I haven't heard Coral for a while.
No, the Coral, we'll save Coral for later in the week.
Okay.
So, if he is to run with a special guest again, what about Chris Fagan? Don't you reckon he'd be a great chat? Like, to have him there at the captain's run, to have Chris Fagan, fellow coach there in Brisbane, don't you reckon that'd be a perfect bloke to wheel out, having just done it the week before? Wouldn't that be good?
For sure. I think he's perfect. Get the Fags there.
Okay, Broncos legend calls out Stefano.
Who?
Corey Parker.
Corey.
Corey Parker. Did you see his sonnies?
Corey's.
Oh, they were fast.
Corey Hart, sunglasses
They
at
were
night.
very fast.
What was he? Don't tell me he was wearing them on radio.
I'll show you the Sunnies. They were very fast. But
Sonny's
he's called
in
out.
Studio.
He's called out and he's whacked the Storm prop on breakfast with Cos and Hills this morning.
Stefano Utoikamanu is a great player. Okay?
And he's in good form.
And he's in good form.
He's got
and he was
great confidence
terrific.
from that. By
he
the
was
sound of it.
terrific last game. He was best on ground for them last game.
Mm-hmm.
But he has done absolutely nothing.
Well, I wouldn't say nothing, mate. In 2 Origin series, he's done 39 minutes.
Hang on. What I mean by nothing, has not won a comp. Mm-hmm. Okay, so just bite down on your mouth guard, bottle all those sort of emotions you want, or do we like the fact that he's come out and he's lit the fuse and he's had a crack? Because he's played 3 Origin, he's won none. He's played 2 Samoan tests, he's won none. And now he's come out and he's run his mouth to have a crack at the Broncos. And if he's having a crack at Payne Haas, which I highly doubt, because they're teammates for Origin, I would highly doubt he's having a crack at Payno. They're indifferent. like
Hemispheres.
They're in different
stratospheres.
They are in different stratospheres at the moment. Payne hard. And Stefano's a great player. He just doesn't need to come out and say what he did.
There you go. The gloves are off. It's grand final week. Here we go, bro.
Yeah. Is Corey just sticking up for the Brisbane Broncos here? I feel he is. Just because he's on Queensland radio. I mean, Kane Corns is in Stefano's corner.
Oh, speaking about
sure.
Kane Corns, senmerch.sen.com.au is the way to do that. I was going to have a look at the under-19 squads to see if he came across some young Queenslanders back in the day. Does he have a long representative history?
Oh,
Stefano.
right.
I'm going to look at that.
I like when you go in depth.
Deep
Rob's saying this. He said, I think Bellyache should be calling on two-time AFL grand final umpire, Group 1 Gav for the Storm River. Maybe we should.
For the Ruth?
For the Ruth.
Oh, wouldn't that be a way to do that?
Yeah, this one, Ben says, Chris Fagan will be Schindler's.
Yeah, good
in
on
no
him.
condition. Although he's not a big drinker,
Yeah. Oh, he's fine. I saw him already.
I've noticed. He likes a little bit of red wine.
He's already plotting a three-peat.
What a guy.
Because I interviewed him. Have I told you this story?
At least twice.
And Madge was on stage, and me and Mudguts Hindmarsh were interviewing him. And Chris Fagan just asked me, ask me anything. I don't care. And Madge goes, what are you going to ask me? I'm just a bit worried. It was afraid there was all these school kids. Yeah. And I said, you'll be sweet, Madge. And then Chris Fagan was he was like an uncle you just wanted to cuddle.
Yeah.
And he made a very good point. He said, because the MC was asking him as well, talking about the way he coaches, the philosophy he's coaching. He's not hard. He's not a hard man. And he goes, well, the reason I'm not a hard man is because I never played the game.
Yeah.
How am I telling these blokes who would have played the game at the highest level? He said, I played in Tasmania like a rank version of this.
Yeah.
He said, so the way I coach is totally different.
I love that.
I respected that.
So do I.
Don't you reckon?
Of course. Play to your strengths. By the Daily Telegraph, Fletch, James Tedesco, who was selected in a preliminary squad by selectors on Sunday, informed the ARL Commission on Monday afternoon that he was the best man at his brother's wedding and was reluctantly pulling out of the tour. Tedesco said, I rang Peter V'landys. I wasn't sure if I was going to get picked, but he said I was going to get picked and for me to sleep on it and I think about it. I've been thinking about it the past couple of weeks, not knowing what was going to happen, but the thought of missing the wedding would have weighed on me a lot more than missing a couple of games for Australia. I've also got to get stem cells in my knee, which is a 6 to 8 week recovery process, and I want to get that done to be ready for January. And here's what Peter V'landys had to say on the Tedesco omission.
One of the players that was selected and was James Tedesco, and James has pulled out because he's got his brother's wedding and he's the best man. I asked him to think about it, but he believes that he wouldn't be doing the right thing by his family if he wasn't here for the weddings, which is a shame because he's played so well this year. He deserved his place in the team. I've let Kevin Walters know, and we'll now go back to the drawing board. So, and James was very professional about it, and he really agonised over it because he really wanted to be there.
There you go. So David Riccio reporting that through the Daily Telegraph. So that's fascinating. So they're kind of saying that, well, he was in.
Which is why didn't Kevy do it? Why is Peter V'landys doing it?
I don't know.
I find it very, very strange.
I was talking to somebody today about this. He has the final say on the team, doesn't he?
Who?
Peter V'landys.
I did not know that.
I'm pretty certain.
So he's a selector.
I believe he's part of the selection committee. I believe that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I could be wrong. I'm happy to be proven
why,
wrong. But
Teddy, I wonder why, because you would think that the wedding's been like organised for at least 6 months. Like Teddy would know this is coming up. Maybe when it got closer, he just thought, I can't do it.
But I just find it fascinating that essentially he's already been told he's in the 22-man squad.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting.
So I would say he was in and Dylan Edwards was not, because I feel they're going to take Reece. Is that how you read it?
I'm not certain about Reece. I just need to know. You saw with Madge, wouldn't select a former player, relationships, everything. I don't know what the relationship between Reece Walsh and Kevy is. It may be really strong. It may not. I don't know.
I think it would be. I think it would be pretty good. I think it was what I've heard him around the traps when we watched the games together.
Yep.
We're sitting there watching him. He doesn't have a bad word to say about anyone.
I don't think. Yeah, he wouldn't have any enemies. I wouldn't have thought. Would our man Kevy Walters?
Okay. Does this strengthen the case for Ethan Strange now? Tedesco out.
Yes.
An outside back who can cover 5'8", who can cover centre, who could cover wing if need be.
So has he? We heard about the Victor Radley omission from England.
Yeah.
Surely they've pressed Strange. As to say.
Oh, I thought you were thinking the Roosters have.
No.
Coincidental that
Johnny Strange.
Is it coincidental that Victor's now pulled out? Teddy's pulled out because he was on the golf trip. And of course, Chad, he's not making himself available for Australia either.
Chad's either.
So, I mean, he was on the golf trip.
Okay.
I'm just spitballing here.
Okay. All right. Another person who's pulled out of their opportunity to represent their country, Stephen Crichton. He's out of the Pac Champs. Daily Telegraph. He will miss. Well, he missed Canterbury's final loss to the Panthers because of the ankle injury he picked up in the opening week of the finals against the Storm. Cinders Moses strikes. It'll rule him out of a Samoan side who will fancy their chances at the end of the year tournament, where they'll be boosted by Brisbane's Payne Haas. I tell you what, it's going to be a cracking Pacific Champs. Yep. Samoa look red hot on paper. Tonga likewise.
Is it running concurrently with the Ashes or the Embers?
I believe the Embers, yeah.
Can't call it the Ashes?
No, the Embers.
The Embers. So it's running concurrently?
Concurrently, I believe so, yes, Brian.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.